Hello, my friends, and welcome to episode 30 of Putty's Podcast. I am your host at Michael J. Putty. Thanks for coming back. If I sound a little different again, I'm back to using the super sensitive microphone. I need to start getting more comfortable with it, trying to play with the settings so it sounds better. I tweaked a few things. So far, I'm sounding crystal clear. No background noises. So hopefully this goes smoothly. A lot smoother than last week. I think my 3-week ordeal has come to an end. You heard part of the party last episode of whatever creature was in my ceiling. And all that noise they made. It sounded like more than one that night. And that went on and on and on Friday night. Carrying over from Thursday night, whatever these creatures were. Everyone I told about it didn't think it was a mouse. They think it was a rat or something else. But we'll never know, hopefully. Because Saturday, I barely heard it walking around. Sunday, I heard it even less. Like very, very faintly on Sunday. I think it was towards the middle of the afternoon. That was it. Nothing at night, nothing Saturday night. So the landlord came over Monday and patched that hole up with concrete. Leaving me with two scenarios. Either like I just said, and the one I'm hoping for, my ordeal is over with. Maybe they just came back in the evenings. Maybe this is where they slept or stored stuff. And they went out to work during the day. Because I'm still hearing very, very brief, faint noises. But they don't last. It's very faint. So either I'm hearing phantom noises or it's up there still. No way of escaping, and he's either dying or suffering from something. But I guess I'll find out in a few days if I start smelling something rotten emanating from my ceiling. So with this over with, I thought this past week would be awesome. I could just coast this week. But no, it's been a heavy down, low week. I think I've been doing pretty good the last several episodes, if not longer, than referencing or talking about my past relationship that ended, 9 months ago? The last couple of days, it's been down and not in a good place. And it started off last Friday. I was in Dunkin' Donuts with some coworkers. An attractive woman walks in, start checking her out. I noticed she has a similar body frame to my ex-girlfriend. And that got me to thinking of all the guys checking her out currently, all the guys checking her out when we were together, because I would see them. I would even point them out there. I thought it was funny. And I kind of got a little tinge in my stomach, in my gut. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Now you're just torturing yourself. So I talked myself out of that. Again, focusing on this fucking mouse thing. Because when I was recording the podcast Friday night with all this fucking noise, I wasn't thinking about it anymore. I moved on. But I'm recording the show on Thursday, May 14th. Because Friday the 15th, I'm going into the city for our good friend, AJ Pan, the governor of BCW, his birthday. He's a big birthday guy. Haven't missed it in the last couple of years. Always a good time. Well, last year, she came with me. She works in the city. I met her in the city. We hung out for a bit. We walked to the ATM to get her some money. And as she's doing her transactions, I fucking see Steve Nash, NBA legend Steve Nash, game MVP like Steve Nash, walk by. I'm like, holy shit. She had no clue who he was. I told a lot of people at the bar. They had no clue who he was. I texted a good friend, former co-host here, Erwin. He knew who he was, of course. He was bugging out. I was inside the vestibule. He was walking past, so I didn't get a chance to stop him. I didn't get a chance to ask for a picture or bother him in any way. Probably for the best. Then we went to the bar. I think a couple people I knew were supposed to be there. They couldn't make it. So I was surrounded by all of AJ's friends. People I don't know that well. But she was there. She was by my side the whole time, having a great time, just me and her talking, introducing her to people, catching up, small talk with everybody else, but just me and her locked in the whole night. Now I'm looking back wondering what she was thinking, because I think the week before, or the 2 weeks before, in my timetable of events was the beginning of the end. But it's a Thursday night. She has work the next day because I took off. Ubers are super expensive. On a Thursday night, they were crazy ridiculous. We're looking at Lyft, other apps. She comes up with the idea that, why don't we just take the bus? She takes the bus every day home. Let's just take the bus. I'm like, okay, fine. I haven't been on a bus in years. So here we are, waiting for a bus. It's like 1, 2 something in the morning. A bus full of degenerates. But that was one of those nights that I hold dearly, remember fondly. But now here we are, a year later. I'll be walking to that same bar. A bar I've been to many a times since. But in the back of my head, I'll be playing these memories from a year ago. And now what if my friends can't make it again and I'm left all alone with nobody to talk to, no rock by my side? Again, I'm just playing all these fucking scenarios for no fucking reason. It was a great night, special memory. I'm trying to, I need to focus more on that positives of that situation. So here I am, playing all these scenarios the last several days. And also last year, around this time, there's a Greek church by my house that has an annual festival. I went to it once as a kid, that was it. I told her about it, she wanted to go. So we walked there, we're mingling with all the little shops and treats they got. They have a big dining area. She's hungry, she wants some food. We get her a gyro. I'd never had a gyro before. I had no interest in trying a gyro. Again, growing up, I was a very picky eater, something I'm trying to expand more the last several years. I'm like, you know what? I'll try gyro as well, or whatever you guys pronounce it. Gyro. It was fucking good. I don't like pickles. I don't like the dill in that white sauce, but it was good. It was very good. Had it a couple times since. But driving to work one day, I see that dining area, and again, that scenario is playing over in my head. I'm like, what the fuck? This has been 9 months. Yes, I'm allowed to hold on to these special moments, these special memories, but this shouldn't be affecting me like this 9 months later. Yeah, there's no timetable for recovery, blah, blah, blah. I understand that. I'm doing much better than I was. Again, early on in this show, I think back in October or November, I was saying every time I took a step forward, I took 2 steps back. So my goal for the last several months was to keep going forward. So I do take 2 steps back. I'm still progressing, and that's something I've held on to, and thankfully, I feel like that's what I have been doing. Sent former guest here, good friend of mine, Mark Ass, Davenport Schwann III, a text on Mother's Day saying, wish your wife a happy Mother's Day for me. He just got into his car, so he calls me, and we just catch up. I haven't spoken to him in a while. We're just catching up. Bullshitting. Clearly he doesn't listen to this podcast, because I telling him about the mouse situation, or whatever it was in my ceiling, how my upstairs neighbors are making so much fucking noise, ruining my chances of this voiceover stuff, which I'm worried about. I told him it was so bad. At several points, I had to stop my ex-girlfriend from storming up there and yelling at them. He goes, oh, by the way, how are you doing with all that? How are you feeling? And I was a little taken aback because I realized nobody's asked me that question in months. Life moves on. Everyone moved on with their lives. And I'm assuming everyone thought I had as well. And so when he asked me that question, I gave him some sort of half-assed, stumbly answer because I didn't know what to say. Which I guess is kind of a good thing. Wednesday rolls around, my weekly therapy session. I tell my therapist everything I just told y'all. My eyes got a little misty, too. What the fuck, man? But by the end of it, an hour later, I was feeling much better. We were laughing, joking about stuff. So again, I highly recommend therapy. If you're in a bad place or need somebody to talk to, you have nothing to lose. Thankfully, I lucked out. First guy I've gotten I'm doing pretty good with. I know some people it takes a while to find someone they feel comfortable with. And even the weeks that go in, I'm a little worried because I don't think I have enough stuff to talk about to cover an hour. You find stuff. Definitely beneficial. And if you don't feel comfortable talking to a real person, again, there's a lot of dangerous AI stuff out there. But the one I've been using, Ash, it's an AI app that you can just talk to. There's a note when you open it up from the developer saying he wants to keep it free for as long as possible because he believes in helping people. This is not an AI bot tied to some mega corporation. And John Oliver on Last Week Tonight did a great piece about the dangers of these AI chat bots. So please check that out if you have any worries or are thinking about doing it because it can be dangerous. And most of the ones that talked about being dangerous are from these mega corporations, the Metas, the Googles, and stuff like that. So be careful. But the one I'm using, again, is very good, but it does not beat a real person, human-to-human connection. So, again, highly recommend it. And speaking of therapy, I think there might be some people who therapy can't even help. I'm a big fan of that show called Big Brother. Summer reality show. Been watching it for like 20-something years now. And last year they introduced a companion show, like a recap show, with 2 former winners. They break down certain gameplays, go over clips, stuff you missed. It was a fun little show, one of those shows you don't really have to think about and just sit back and enjoy. There was a post on Facebook in one of those groups saying this show is coming back. No confirm on who the hosts are going to be, but we all assume the same hosts from last year. So this post asked, if they don't come back, who would you like to see host this show? And I said last year, it was 2 former winners. One from a couple years ago, named Taylor Hale. She was target, I think week 1, week 2. The whole house hated her. Somehow she turned things around and ended up winning the show. Great face turn. But all these comments were very vile, very negative about this beautiful black woman. Nothing about the white dude. They all love the white dude. Again, I've been watching this show for 20-something years. I've never seen anybody so divisive as this one. But I'm just going through the comments at work because what else is there to do? And it's just negative after negative. There are people who've politely answered with 2 other names. But most of the time, it's just bashing this woman. Finally, one person named Melody commented, "Why is y'all hating on her? It's giving racist vibes." Your boy gave a thumbs up to that. And my favorite quote was from a guy named David. He goes, I hate, all in capitals, hate review/comment shows. That's a normal comment. I don't understand hateful comments. Like, if I don't like something, this is the point of this tirade here. If I don't like something, I don't watch it. And if I don't like something, not only do I not watch it, I definitely do not go out of my way to leave hateful, negative, bashful comments online on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'm not a big commenter in general, because a couple of times I have commented on certain things. I've gotten screenshots by friends making fun of me for some fucking reason. But to go online, whatever it is, and bash and hate, it's just, what's the fucking point? What do you have wrong with your lives? Again, check out therapy, dudes and dudettes. There's a good friend of mine who I've known for 20-something years. Big Trump guy. Huge MAGA guy. Created an alter ego, a podcaster who's huge in the MAGA-verse. He posted something stupid about the fucking election. And I commented something because he really pissed me off. And these people started attacking me. Y'all idiots don't know who the fuck I am. But nor was I going to sit back and take it. And so I commented, yo, me and him have known each other for a long time. Relax. We can talk like this. It's a lost art. Being able to have a debate and disagree on stuff without resorting to negative, hurtful, hateful comments. I mentioned last week about this hantavirus on this cruise ship. And one of the guys, an American, posted some videos on the ship. Well, now the Americans that were on board are now in a quarantine unit somewhere in Nebraska. And he's still vlogging. It's been very interesting to see this poor guy trapped in what looked like some sort of hotel room. But he seems to be doing well. He's in good spirits. Allegedly, everyone else in that building is in good spirits, also in good health. So far, so good. Hopefully this is contained and doesn't spread, but it's still early. Speaking of, back in 2020, when COVID came around, I worked at a bank and we had to stay open. We were what was the term they used? Essential employee. But the governor restricted the amount of people that could be in an environment at one time. So long story short, I had a week off every 2 weeks. I think I mentioned it in previous episodes. But being home for 7 straight days, not being able to do anything, I believe that's when I started drinking heavier. I had no work the next day. I'm fucking wanting to drink every fucking day. Hell yeah. Now here we are, 6 years later, still drinking heavier than I did before the pandemic. According to a Gallup survey, alcohol consumption in the U.S. has dropped to its lowest level since polling began in 1939. Only 54% of Americans said they drink alcohol in 2025, marking 3 years straight of decline. More Americans now believe that even moderate drinking can negatively affect health, reflecting newer scientific research that challenges older beliefs that small amounts of alcohol might be beneficial. In 2025, 53% of Americans said moderate drinking is bad for health, compared to just 28% in 2018. Young people appear particularly health conscious, with 66% saying alcohol is harmful to health. Even among people who still drink, consumption is falling. Gallup found 40% of drinkers had not consumed alcohol in over a week, the highest level since 2000. The average number of drinks per week dropped from 3.8 to 2.8 in 1 year, the lowest since 1996. I need to make some changes. I think I do 2.8 in a fucking day. I used to say that I don't have a drinking problem. I have a drinking problem. Like, I need to have drinks in my hand. Like, all day at work, I'm drinking water. When I'm home, I'm drinking, like, juice or iced tea or Gatorade. I just need to always be drinking something for some reason. Not necessarily alcohol. And there have been many times where I put myself on a sabbatical, like, how about we take this week off from drinking? But to hear this, I'm way above the average. So I need to fucking do some changes, dude. Wish me luck. I look at more of the benefits for me. It just helps with all these aches and pains that I have constantly. Helps me fall asleep. I have very trouble falling asleep. It helps me fall asleep. I don't wake up feeling like shit. I don't wake up hungover. But I do have a lot of health issues that this is not fucking helping. So when I read this today, it was like such an eye-opener. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? It's been a rough week. It's been a rough 9 months. It's been a rough 6 fucking years. There's this app called Time Hop, where you can connect it to your social medias, and it shows you anything you posted on the day you check it. If I have an app or a game that keeps track of streaks, I tend to check it every day. I want to keep the streak going for as long as possible. And the other day I checked it. It was the 18th birthday of WrestleMania 24, which was the 18th birthday of the one and only Green Man. Happy birthday, Green Man. You are now legal. But today, again, May 14th, I hit the 10-year mark. 10-year streak of checking it every fucking day. It's one of the first things I do when I wake up. Can't break this streak. 10 fucking years. Good for me. One of the most successful things I've had going in my life. So actually, by the time you listen to this, again, I'm recording on the 14th. By the time you listen to this, that Greek festival I mentioned earlier would have passed. AJ's birthday would have came and passed. So those two memories, those two events that are weighing heavily on me, I would have made it through. Successfully, of course, because I know I'm just overthinking and making a bigger deal about it than I should. But Monday, the 18th, will be the 5-year anniversary of my father's passing. I could probably do a whole show on that, but as a kid, you don't appreciate how much work your parents do for you. But my father was dealt a very fucking shitty hand the last several years of his life. And it looked like the last several years were going to be even shittier. My father passed out in the bathroom in my brother's arms on Martin Luther King, the Sunday before Martin Luther King Day in 2021. And he never came home. He was in the hospital for a while, and as the usual, once he's better, they send him to a rehab center. But we were not allowed to visit him because of the COVID was still raging on then. And then he went back to the hospital, and he kept jumping back and forth between hospitals and rehab centers. And there was doctors who kind of concluded that he can't come home again. He needed around-the-clock care. So we had a phone call one day from a rehab center, I forgot which one, saying that, oh, he's ready to come home in a couple of days. We're going to send you over all the equipment y'all need. So they sent us a hospital bed straight out of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, straight out of the 70s. Like, what the fuck is this? There was something else, too. I forgot what it was. I think it was 3 pieces of equipment. My mother had to make a stand, like, hey, listen, we were told he's not coming home. He can't come home. We don't have the capabilities of taking care of him at home. Because the healthcare system in this fucking country and the insurance, I should more say, is fucked up. My father didn't qualify for at-home aids for some fucking reason or some bullshit. It just, don't get me started. So they came to the conclusion that, all right, they agree he can't come home. He needs to be admitted into a permanent rehab facility. He was there one fucking day. One fucking day. He had to go back to the hospital. And he passed away within 24 hours. So when you get that phone call from your mother saying your father's going to the hospital, they don't think he's going to make it. I'm like, all right. Start the drive. My mother, go pick up my brother, go to the hospital. Still, in May of 2021, COVID was back up or dying off from the winter surge. So only my mother was allowed to go see him. And she was there for a couple of hours, or like an hour, 2 hours. She comes back, says there's nothing more we can do. We go home, go to bed. I get awoken in the middle of the night around 3 o'clock saying that he had passed. And a friend of mine also welcomed me into the Dead Parent Club. And I don't remember who it was. It's only a very, very small window of people who it could be, but I just don't remember who it is. But for me, it was weird because I got the phone call. And of course, you just cry yourself to sleep in the middle of the night. My father was gone a long time ago. So in this situation, the glass half full was his suffering was not there anymore. He was at peace, at rest. But it still sucks. So one of the things I wanted to do on the show was I love music. And I want to play certain songs that I have a connection to or lyrics that mean something to me or lyrics I just love how it was written. I think I started it on his birthday. And I played a song called Down Home by Jimmy Allen. A song about he lost his father and he just hopes he's making his father proud. And I mentioned back then, I don't see why I would be because what am I doing? Hopefully that will change soon because one of the things my therapist talked about in my last session was I need to figure out what the fuck I need to do with my life. So I need to, after this weekend, because fuck that, maybe lower the drinking and try to figure out what I need to fucking do with my life going forward because I can't keep doing what I am doing. Eating like shit, drinking like shit, stuck in a shitty fucking dead-end job, not contributing to this world at all. So again, glass half full here. Maybe this will be the summer of fucking putty. Some hot girl shit, to quote Meg Thee Stallion. Speaking of, my drink is finished. It is Thursday. I do have fucking work tomorrow. And again, I'm using the super sensitive microphone. And did y'all hear? No mouse noises. No visitors this episode. So the next time you hear my voice, that it is over with or stressing about the work that's done in my apartment to get this dead animal out of my house if I start smelling something. But again, much like AJ's birthday, I'm overthinking it, so let's cross that bridge when we get to it. While y'all listen, I don't know, but thank you for listening. Any comments or questions, inbox, puttyspodcast at gmail.com. Get involved in the conversation, dial it up, or leave a text at 917-718-8083. Rate, comment, review wherever you're listening to this. But I have been your host at Michael J. Putty. Until next time, Putty out.